Turn to ban. Phoenix's turn to ban. Fnatic's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Welcome back. Game 4 here for the MVP versus Fnatic best of 5 stage qualifiers for ESL One Frankfurt 2018. I'm Gareth and joining me is Scant, and we're getting through these games relatively quickly now. The pace has picked up. The draft has slowed down though. These teams thinking a little more carefully about what heroes they're picking and banning, but MVP will go with the Doom and Invoker. Fnatic first phase ban out the Spectre. Now we see MVP with the Enchantress.
Yeah, so that's a change. Fnatic had the Enchantress first pick in every game so far in the series, and this time MVP deciding this is the way they want to use their first pick. I think last time they had the first pick, they actually left the Invoker in, picked themselves.
Yep.
But this time they decided, okay, we got to deny the Enchantress and the Invoker, and it didn't work when we picked the Invoker, so we'll pick the Enchantress.
10 seconds remaining.
Every Enchantress is a wonderful beast, but this also has ramifications further down the draft, because K4F can play offlane Enchantress and it's done from time to time. And I was just about to hit these Bounty Hunter. I'm a little bit surprised Fnatic go for it first pick. Maybe it would have been one of MVP's hands in the second phase.
Yeah, I think it very likely would have been. So this sets up for something interesting, because remember the first or the second game, I think it was the first game, where DJ's Enchantress was actually effectively tri-laning. It wasn't really in the jungle, got some creeps and then went to the 3v3 lane, and that's what you end up doing with your Enchantress. The Bounty Hunter pick can actually backfire to some extent. Whereas alternatively, if the Enchantress is off alone in the jungle quite a lot, the Bounty Hunter can interfere quite a lot. So there's a lot of space, since both teams first pick these heroes, there's a lot of space early on in the draft for them to like build towards, kind of aim like that. The face is void, so if they were going to go for some kind of aggression like I was describing, they'll have to put their void in the safe lane, because I don't think you can go for... I don't think it makes sense really to aggressive dual tri-lane around the void.
10 seconds remaining.
So, with OD in the pool, Fnatic probably going to be aiming towards that, get rid of the two orb guys, the Enchantress and the Outworld Devourer. Throw a lot of damage into that Chronosphere, while MVP remove Net Sven. Paired up nicely with a Dream Coil from mid-one's Puck. Bounty Hunter, hero we haven't seen yet this series. Jay, he does a lot of work on these roaming heroes. His Earth Spirits, his Enchantress, his Bounty Hunter, whether he's farming or he's actually actively looking for these kills, he's always making a little pest of himself. Every single lane. For Assassin though. And out.
I wonder if maybe Mid1 just said that's not a matchup he likes. I know different people have different views on the Puck vs TA matchup, and some Pucks have done a lot better against it recently, but I could imagine Mid1 just saying, like, don't give me that matchup. And definitely TA is one of the heroes that's more difficult for the Bounty Hunters early roaming to be effective against. So regardless of the Puck vs TA matchup, it's just like, Bounty's probably not going to make kills against it.
OD ban. Fnatic, do you just want to let it through? At Ursa ban, very hero, then that could have picked. Still,
10 seconds
still looking at, Vengeful Spirits and Witch Doctors, all these heroes left in here, and maybe want to focus on that a little bit more. MVP could still go for the Earth Spirit if they wanted to. No, there's heavy playing the Enchantress, you could have a Dubu Earth Spirit still. 2 roaming heroes, but we've utilized that and have 3 strong solo laners, and it definitely work out for them. Try and down the Bounty Hunter and make sure that he's not devices, havoc on lanes, and it will be the OD ban by Fnatic. Again, just the Arcane Orb plus Impetus, too much to handle inside.
and means that we see MVP running. MVP, I guess they've been running the win range in the mid lane. They could do that again. It's also pretty good against the bounty hunters, Roam.
Phoenix's
And it's also
turn
pretty
to
good with
pick.
the Faceless Void, putting damage into the Chronosphere, so... I mean, I don't know, they might be... The win range has actually struggled quite a bit in both these games, even the one that they won.
Yeah. It was a bit late on his timings, but Fnatic back in with a Batrider for Ohio, more lockdown and pretty decent against Void if you can vision up. Utility lacking a little bit, quite a fair amount in the
10
physical
seconds
damage
remaining.
sector of things. What they're going to pick up for net here.
5 seconds remaining.
Gyrocopter would be okay, but still they want something a little more hard hitting.
Reserve time.
Juggernaut again.
I mean, it might be that Fnatic are just... Oh, okay, well there's the Juggernaut taken out, and also
Fnatic's turn to
synergizes with the Void, because you can Omni-Slash into it, but it might be that Fnatic are going for like even earlier timing than previous games. This is like the hyper-aggressive, as soon as Bat and Pack have Blink, we're just gonna like run at you non-stop, and... Yeah, I mean, MVP's heroes are a bit susceptible to that. I think they want a bit more time to get XP and gold before they take them head on. So I wouldn't be
10 seconds
be shocked if
remaining.
Fnatic do take something like the Gyro, because it does fit into a get it active
5
very early
seconds
and fight very early lineup.
Where's the Lone Druid been in all these games?
Reserve
It hasn't
time.
been banned, well, it hasn't been picked once, and I don't think it's been banned at all either.
Phoenix's turn to pick.
Yeah, I guess these are just teams that Fnatic definitely play Lone Druid on Ohio, but Ohio's been doing such a great job tempo controlling them recently that I think they prefer not to. There was one game where they gave it to him yesterday, but that's about it. Do MVP play a lot of Lone Druid? I'm not...
They did around Shanghai. I can't remember if they played it much at Shanghai, but definitely before and just after Forever was playing it. But then they kind of
10
switched to the
seconds remaining.
like Tidehunter, Nyx Assassin, Batrider kind of thing for Forever, where he's more of a
5
playmaker
seconds
again rather than
remaining.
farming. I like that shift, especially with Kyo like going back to his
Reserve
Invoker
time.
and stuff like that. But yeah, no Vengeful Spirit to cancel out the Batrider. Interesting that Juggernaut instead. And Oracle isn't really a hero that MVP Phoenix play at all. Don't have anyone to save the bat, whereas Tusk is actually a Febby hero as well, so all these saving heroes can be limited, but Disruptor will give you a bit
Fanatics
of both
turn to
worlds. Good aggressive power with Glimpse, good way to deal with the bat when you blink blast those in, but also very good combo team fight capabilities here, Faceless Void.
I don't know, I'm nervous about this Disruptor pick. It's the conversation we had yesterday when we saw the Disruptor bounty support
10
combination, and
seconds
I just
remaining.
feel like with this combination of Disruptor and
5
Enchantress, it's a
seconds
similar thing.
remaining.
Like, yeah, Glimpse can deal with the Bat Lasso to some extent. Beyond that,
Reserve
Disruptor
time.
is not a hero that does anything defensively, and Fnatic are representing a lineup that's going to be very, very aggressive and in your face. So I just think the setup right now is that if Fnatic gets a considerable lead early on, there's not any way back into the game for MVP. Barring like a, I don't know, 5-hero Chronosphere, something ridiculous like that. The MVP might be pushing themselves into a corner where they need to do a lot to contest that early game. Which they can.
Phoenix's turn to
Sure
ban.
enough, I mean, they're the ones that has the Enchantress. But I really think they're going to struggle if the early game goes badly for them.
Final ban here for MVP. That's it. Options for nets. Gyrocopter is probably, you know, the safe and
10
sound ban.
seconds
Just remove
remaining.
that one out. Juggernaut they already took themselves, of course, and
5
I can't think of
seconds
many
remaining.
other heroes that Net has picked up recently. Has also gone in the first phase, they banned that out
Reserve
themselves.
time.
Spot to be in.
What is a safe laner that's really good against offlane Void? Because Venge is not going to deal with Void.
OD does well, but they banned it out themselves. Like a safe lane Queen of Pain or something, but I don't know, you feel you want like a right clicker. If it was any other team, I'd say a slot. I don't know if
Fnatic's
Net
turn to pick.
plays.
The Sven and the Ursa do well, and that's what those bans were. The Anti-Mage, I don't know, I guess the Anti-Mage, if you burn all the Void's mana, that's really good. But possibly it's also just because they're worried about them going back and changing their plan altogether. I think this is, I mean, I was talking about how important it is for MVP to get a good lane stage, and they've got the Enchantress. Enchantress, on top of being ahead in a particular lane, is a really big deal.
10 seconds
And right now, I think the
remaining.
Void is ahead. Like on paper, Void versus Vanish plus carry is usually
5
good for Void,
seconds
even
remaining.
without the Enchantress. So
Like, again, it's one of these situations where if this was any other
Reserve
team, I'd say
time.
Clink pick for Fnatic. Deal with Omni Slash and Chronosphere. Doesn't really care too much about Disruptor, crap him in him, he's got a lot of damage behind him. Pair up nicely with the Batrider and Puck, just scout with the Bounty Hunter and all those searing arrows.
And you got the strafe against the Enchantress, so I think it's pretty good, but they go for
Phoenix's
Medusa. It's also got mana burn. Also got mana burn with the Mystic Snake, so you can use that to control the Void to try and lock him out of being able to time walk away all the time. But it changes things up quite substantially. I mean, I still think Fnatic are in a position where if they run away with the early game, MVP are going to struggle to come back. Now Fnatic are less one-dimensional in the sense that I feel like even if the game kind of stalls out for a long time,
10
Fnatic
seconds
looked
remaining.
pretty decent going late too.
5 seconds remaining.
What is your Q arrow? Where are you going with it?
Reserve time.
Feels like we need something to go into this Chronosphere as well. Juggernaut can do a decent amount. They've got Juggernaut and Enchantress to deal damage into the Chrono. They want a tempo controller here for QO. Looking at a pain, but that's part of me just wanting the co-op against Puck matchup. You know, just having that 1v1 being fun towards the mid.
I don't know, I feel like they actually need more damage for the Medusa. I don't think they have damage
Death
to throw into
Prophet?
the Chronosphere, but Prophet could be good, yeah.
There's too much catch here from Batrider and Venge. I mean, DP decently lane against Puck, but then you've got the Bounty Hunter coming in. You don't have a reactive support from MVP, and Enchantress is more proactive and active. It doesn't really TP in to save you from a Bounty Hunter roaming in onto you with that Janada and Shuriken.
Master.
MVP Master, I think, yeah. This is something they have done recently, and so I think they are going to go aggressive with their Void. That's what the plan is. QO plays Drag in the mid lane, that should be fine. Difficult to kill the bounty ganks and can farm against the pack, and Peace Beastmaster will get really good farm against the bats, I think. It's an awkward aggressive lane in the sense that like the natural way to make kills with like the Void and Disruptor. The Enchantress comes in, they can set up kills, that's for sure, and it is what we were discussing all along, that there's a weakness to Fnatic's safe lane in the early stages, so that's where MVP are going to focus their pressure. This is what Fnatic did in game 1 against MVP, right? They
10
just went for aggressive tri lane with Enchantress and got ahead from there.
5 seconds remaining.
Who's busy drawing on the map, I can hear the scribbles. It's actually QO. One drawing out onto the map. No TPs going out towards the lanes just yet. DJ I think is going to go for one though. He's been given observers and sentries. Brown boots first. I like this. I've been a massive fan of the players that still go all the Venom level 1 on the Bounty Hunter. Brown boots give you so much maneuverability, not in lane, but from lane to lane. All runes, you look at courier snipes, you have just so much more availability. Self lanes and Batrider, don't know what he's drawing and signaling on the map. Maybe get up onto the high ground and limit how much Enchantress can get from the jungle and ward it up as much as you possibly can. JDTP. He's actually going to head towards the here. He'll go for that Grand Observer ward and then a sentry camp in the back here.
Apparently Dubu is heading towards the safe lane. I'm pretty confident that they'd go with their Void. I mean, protecting the Beastmaster's farm could be really good as well. BM getting good timing in this game. I mean, the Anti-Mage was banned, and we were talking about other heroes that could have the mana burn. Beastmaster is actually really good against Medusa. Beastmaster crit 3 early on, that is one way to deal with the Medusa.
Yeah. Roar up net. Rev. Oh dear. Okay, poor man shield and tangos, gets an observer ward down as well.
30 seconds
Not
to
block
battle.
that little camp, but it'll just give good vision for Forev. Time. You have to be a little bit careful here. Forev could chase down. 300 move speed against 290, he's got way more damage, more armor, more everything. You can't trade hits with him at all as the Medusa just yet. So 343 on his kind of signature Spirit DJ. Bounty Hunter while mid 1 Puck. Gonna be
The battle
battling here. The
begins.
QO mid Juggernaut, poor man shield, and already with the nice little tangos and fairy fire for him. With MP master down towards the safe lane, and of course Webby, trees, dust and smoke. He will be trying to play a little more reactively to the bounty hunter, try and get a couple of real DJ, rather than just doing the farming thing or doing the safe lane or the off lane dual lane thing. Definitely cannot do the off lane dual lane thing because of all the blocked up camps and the observer was giving here for Fnatic.
This is the thing, because MVP are not setting up the off lane dual lane or lane tri lane. I just like, it's fine for them because taking the Beastmaster early on is actually really good. It gives the advantage back to the bounty hunter in terms of taking initiative early on. Like, I think that the Disruptor and the Enchantress need to, they now need to react to the bounty hunter's movements rather than the other way around. I saw something interesting at the beginning at the bottom, and MP actually had one of his boars just like sitting with Dubu, saying like daring the bounty hunter to harass and disrupt the.
We're already off to an okay start. Gonna try and get a few hits in off the mid one, but you can't trade hits like that really. The orb was an attempt at doing a bit more damage back to him as DJ. In. Couple of swipes onto MP. After having a rough time down here, this dual lane against the Batrider alone is already pretty nasty.
You're gonna want to watch
coming out.
Look at the top lane. Look what creep Febby found.
Oh.
The game-winning creep.
Of course he gets the statter.
Dire's
4-3 is
top
hiding
tower
back behind
is
the tree
under
line and
attack.
net. Beat dive by Forev. Got his bash and he's got the time walk as well, and
They're gonna kill him.
this Orb of Venom is here, the Snatter Blast, and the damage output comes through. Fairy Fire heals himself up. Wave of Terror across, but Net's still getting chased down. Forev jumps forward, the cut through the trees, and Net is on the retreat out. Hot pursuit though, as this Snatter just keeps blasting through. Febby slows down Net as well. The Enchanter's there, and Forev will just dive in behind the tree line and look for the right clicks through. Net has no mana left and no mana shield remaining to save him, and the blast will finish him off as Febby fuels the first blood for MVP.
No other creep. There's no other creep to make that play with. It's actually a successful gank onto the Juggernaut of the mid lane, who, yes, I don't know if you caused any of that. I guess the DD from the bounty hunter helped, but the spin wouldn't be enough to actually save him.
The double null from Puck as well.
Yeah, so all that extra damage investment, and that's important because I was gonna say MVP get the best of both worlds. If their Disruptor helps Beastmaster and the Enchantress alone can just with the dual lane destroy the safe lane, Bounty has to get something done, and he does. He gets to kill the mid lane, and he's come to the top lane to help out here too now.
Scouted out though, and Febby with sentries and dust and all that nonsense will be able to keep tabs on DJ as well. So Ohio is Batrider. Moved off this bottom lane, and he's looking to farm up the jungle a little bit more, blocking up camps, making sure falls or anything from Disruptor.
Oh.
Dubu is on level 3. Back towards mid, QO dropping very low. DJ comes in, one swipe and a shuriken is all he needs. Oh, barely. Fairy Fire keeps QO alive. The final right click comes through in the orb. Oh, grabs past him. Mid one, diving in behind his tier 1. QO dead though, and mid one's going to survive through with a nice phase shift as well. Up at top lane though, the diving on Net again with a troll trap and a snare. Net turns back with Mystic Snake and Febby dropping low, but Net is slowed. Forev with that Orb of Venom is ripping him to shreds. There's no mana left after the stick charges, it doesn't even matter. Walks into the creep wave and dies.
Radiant's middle
Right,
tower
so
is under attack.
off lane as expected is going really well for MVP. The mid lane not as well. I actually saw the beginning of that chase in the mid lane. It was actually QO diving mid one at his tower. That's why mid one was so low. He was on like 30 HP because QO tried to spin him at the tower and he just managed to orb away on time. And turns around, comes back with the next orb, and I'm really impressed with what mid one did there. Honestly, like how many pucks would actually jaunt to the orb with like 30 HP behind the enemy tower, and then underneath the tower aggro, attack the hero twice. Just like trust that you're not going to draw it because your teammate's doing that.
And then go deny yourself to Ancients. On mid one.
Quite the player.
Very good. Acceptable skill level.
Yeah, so that's, and in the last hits department he's also doubling up on Cure, and he was even before the first time they killed him, so doing really well to draw over that lane. Which is actually, in some sense, I feel like it's more important to Fnatic that their pack does well early than their Medusa does well early, because the pack and the bat can make space for the Medusa to make a comeback, whereas Medusa, if she was the one doing well early, she's not really gonna go around making space for them back.
The puck is bossing this lane, doubling up on the last hits of QO. Joe even have a bottle yet? He doesn't, right? 5 minutes in, Juggernaut only has poor man shield. No bottle, no boots. Well, mid one, double null bottle. Boots coming out as well. This is a great lead for the puck already to have over on the Juggernaut. Beastmaster, where you're looking to really get this kind of trade-off for MVP, right? He's meant to be the safe lane Beastmaster, farming nicely. 10, but Ohio has been given a hell of a lot of room here, and you don't even have a level 6 with Roar available. I think a lot of this comes down to DJ. He's got his arcane boots, he's level 4 almost, and he's roaming from lane to lane. There isn't a lane or a spot he hasn't been in yet. Now he's moved himself all the way around from bot to mid to top to wherever the hell he wants to go.
Yeah, he's moving to the right places at the right times for sure. He got helped a bit at the start with that DD rune, with fighting happening in mid lane. Like, at the times they've killed Cure is sort of willingly engaging in fighting. It's tough because the Juggernaut can't really out-farm the puck. It's gonna get out-farmed, it's gonna get out-harassed. So Cure, you know, he wants to contest the lane by threatening kills, by actually fighting it. Because he does that, he opens himself up being killed, and he's been punished for it twice now.
This game's progressing. Net on this Medusa is always one of those heroes that can definitely farm decently, and after a poor laning stage doesn't need that good early start, scales well. Do wonder what build he's going to go for though. I think his Sphere is going to be good against the Roar and the Glimpse back. There's not too much anything apart from Thunderstrike that can cancel out the Lincoln. Maybe the first hit of the Omni Slash. Oh, have you seen a lot of Medusas recently?
No, not really. I think he will go for Lincolns. I think goes Phase maybe, and then Lincoln. Maybe a Ring of Aquila in between there. And for the big items like Mantis Style and I don't know, maybe he'll just do the slashes where Phase boots Rapier.
Please. Big no.
Be entertaining for our viewers, certainly.
Or Rapiers. Phase boots 1 for Rapiers. Forev having a few difficulties here reconnecting to the game, it looks like, trying to get out of his system. Man shield and brown boots up, Febby, phase boots, oh look at that. Damage and movement speed galore, and after has spawned. Fnatic have spotted this, they pinged it out. This? I think they saw the Satyr spawn with that high ground observer ward. They'll know that a Satyr is coming. Everyone's just going to take a pummeling here as Net backs himself away. He doesn't want to get caught out by this one. DJ still roaming around down the bottom lane. Picking out to Ohio against these boars, and Ash can afford for Dubu to get his levels up while Kyo is giving up on lane for now. Gets his bottle delivered to him. Put out some jungle camps, but it's really heavy trekking here for him.
DJ might be about to give Dubu some trouble, and Dubu seems to be a little bit aware of this. So, he does get found here.
No reveal.
Dangerous, especially until the Beastmaster gets level 6. Obviously DJ didn't want to dive the tower, but if he were to find the Disruptor off the tower, like roaming around the jungle, that would be really bad for him. And actually mid one could even consider coming down to this bot lane for rotation now.
In the meantime, Forev's given a free lane up at top. Closing on level 6, taking down the tier 1 with the help of Febby, and this opens Febby up to go and rotate as well. You're right, mid one is making a little beeline towards the bottom lane.
Get spotted by the Disruptor, they just briefly saw each other, so I think that's why he goes back.
Now he'll walk into Febby, or he's going to go back towards DJ. Waiting on his buddy to arrive to lane, but Kuro's already retreated back over his own ramp. He and Febby though. There's the roar into mid one and the damage output. It looks good enough, but he's still got an orb and a phase shift to jump himself away. The stance is there, but he doesn't actually jaunt across. And so, Dubu was ready with a kinetic field to hold in place if he did so.
Yeah, they were a bit too aware of his... There was actually a ward. I mean, the Disruptor saw him, but there was also a ward, so I think they were just aware of mid one's presence the whole time.
Actually leads them to a... They want to push it mid. One in a beast with the double boards, and not the hell best smashing with the aura as well. It's going to expire soon though. No way clear to stop them pushing for this. DJ 5, no tracks. We've got the level 3 in the shuriken, and now mid 1 Dream Coil lands it down onto 3, and Kiro just holding up the spin as long as he possibly can, but mid 1 still looking for MP. The stance isn't going to land, but Beast Bounce is still in a ton of trouble with a magic missile finally from 343. Clear up the BM. And they've taken so much, they've alleviated so much pressure from this top lane. Void has come off, he's low HP, Net is given free farm for a little while as well. While bottom lane, Dubu chased by Ohio. Disruptor found by the Bat Rider, and they push into tier 1 bottom.
And this is, I mean, Dubu's done really well to keep himself out of beating until this point. This is where we start to see what I'm talking about when I say Disruptor is a hero that thrives on your team having the initiative, your team having the momentum, and heroes being chased down. He might get away. It's gonna be pretty difficult now.
Looks like his death with the 3 points in Waning Rift. One got just in range for that and waited for his spin to end.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And just, yeah, get value out of a Disruptor pick when you're not the aggressor is really, really difficult. It's kind of like, those are your two modes as Disruptor. Your team is snowballing and you keep pulling people back for kills, or you're just desperately trying not to feed. Like, it doesn't have an in-between mode.
Hero is having an incredibly rough time. 0, 3, and 0. Got his Omni Slash now at very least to try and maybe find a kill somewhere. Bebby's Enchantress. Raise Boots moving into drums as quickly as he can. Pull the bottle mid there as Ohio picks it up and heals back onto it, but 800 gold until mid one has the Blink Dagger, and once again I'm just going to point out, Net has been left alone up at top lane. MVP have switched all their efforts to try and save QO basically. Alive and allow him to farm a little bit more, and this is what they've done in the previous game. Give QO an easier time. He's had a rough start. Definitely capable of coming back into this and playing hyper aggressively after just recovering a tiny bit. Looking at Bat Rider having Blink Dagger and 700 gold, the availability of the farm through it. The mid one's puck just jaunting and jumping. Forev's life a living hell, but I think Forev's looking maybe for a Chronosphere here as well as a jump. Jail will keep tabs on him. He even out the smoke movement in from MVP. DJ very far back. Interesting positioning here for him. Really a saving support.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I mean, I guess it's not safe for him to go further forward. Just wants to be nearby in case a dive happens. They have to actually TP lanes. This is Fnatic. I mean, I guess he can just come to farm, but they're also aware of the fact that there might just be a dive. Their tower is very low. They knew there were a lot of heroes nearby.
No one on the map at this point. So the Juggernaut flash top. Yeah, Fnatic, they felt like something was about to kick off, and it looked like it was, but Ohio still continues farming. Fnatic know that once they get their double Blink Dagger up on these two heroes to bat in the pot, their life becomes so much easier. Jumping and catching out these kills, building up the track gold, and allowing DJ to flow that gold into their coffers as well. Oh, why space for Net? During though 343, he's managed to get himself level 6 and might be looking for a swap up at top, but this Hawk vision from MP. Fnatic are heading.
Bottom tower is under
DJ has got more net worth than Cure.
Cure has had an absolute trash lane stage.
Yeah.
Not particularly his fault, it's just that puck, the roam in from the bounty hunter, and like we said during the draft, there's no reactive support here from MVP, there's no one to TP in. Hey, stop. Stop, there's no Earth Spirit, there's no Witch Doctor or Dazzle. Only Disruptor. There had to be on bottom lane to safeguard the Beastmaster. He had to be up on top lane to give Forev a good time. So Kuro was literally just left to his own devices, dealing with things that way. He's going to go in now with a haste and look for 343. Can't spin. He might get swapped back. The stun disjointed, dodged out, but the track comes through. DJ. There's a TP here from Kuro, but I think it's too late. No one will short himself forward. The only slash back onto them, but it's 3 targets here. Can't stop it. Kuro's dead. It's a track kill for 3 heroes. Fnatic will get themselves a ton of cash.
Yeah, Cure had to TP
Chrono, bottom lane, in for the shot for good onto Net. How? Keeps himself healed up through it though and turns it back around, but the stone gaze out. Forev is trapped in and Enchantress is dead. Ohio jumped in and now they're looking for Forev. Jumps himself across the time, wants to get away. Off back in, the stun, disabled, lassoed up, and Forev. Oh, they wanted Net so badly. They might be able to get the Void out, but no, not quite enough. To sustain himself through. But what healed up Net there?
No. he get healed? It just must have been his magic one.
I mean, unless I'm either blind or my brain is slow or I had lag. Because I'm sure he used like sticking inside Chrono or something, but it might just be me being dumb.
I don't know. I didn't see that happen, but those are mostly all track kills, right? I think the top one was, one of the bot ones was. I don't know if they both were, but this is... Yeah, I don't know. I talked about in the draft and I still feel like this is a game that's difficult for MVP to come into from behind. Medusa makes it a bit easier because the Medusa's not as useful early on, but MVP in danger in this game, very early on in danger, and a lot is on the Beatmaster who's about to probably get a kill for himself in these.
I'll finally capture Ohio, but he's pretty tanky with very far back. MP's going to drop in the fire plane for him, trapped as well. He gets a bash onto Ohio and he's taken out at long last by MP's little unit, but swap back onto Febby with a jump forward from mid one, trying to catch out Dubu. The stance and the orbit there as well. He now switches back targets onto Febby. The sprinting little Enchantress is a shuriken to cancel a TP, and another track kill for Fnatic. This is an absolute disaster for MVP. They're having difficulties finishing her off, but with one final orb from mid one, they'll secure it 4-12, losing only the Batrider. They've even got a pick off on QO at mid. The Juggernaut 0-5 and 0 scans. Don't know what MVP do to get back into this because the Bounty Hunter has a mech completed.
Is under attack.
Yeah, I was gonna say before that fight, if they can still get a good Necro 3 timing, that's still a very good item against all of Fnatic's heroes. Maybe that's the difference maker, but he's only at Necro 1, he's got no gold, and that fight, the lead just escalates so much. Yeah, we're talking about this is an aggressive lineup from Fnatic, and a Medusa, which is normally like a slow farming hero. But if the Medusa's there all the time for the kills with all the track ord, it's gonna get the items anyway in the process.
The double blinks. 7,500 net worth lead. 8,000 experience lead for Fnatic. Even the Vengeful Spirit sitting level 8 with 900 gold. Not as poor as you could imagine. Dubu disrupt this feeling because 1,000 net worth is not a hell of a lot. MVP, it looks like they're going to be moving now on the aggressive, wanting to use this Chronosphere from Forever as well as maybe the Impulse damage from Febby. 5-man group up for Fnatic with the Blink Lasso means that Febby, who's just shown himself, not going to get jumped there. Ohio, twice about it. Febby's got different targets in mind because if you jump the Void, a lot of MVP's teamfight capability has gone down the drain.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I feel like Void could get a really good chrono and they can still lose a fight quite easily.
Oh, it was Snake Mana. That's what brought Net's mana back. Thank you, chat. I love you guys. Threw the snake and then got chrono, then he got all his mana back. I'm just really dumb.
Oh, it was his mana. See, I thought you were talking about health. I was
no.
like, there's surely nothing that could.
Storm. Oh dear. With a roll back under Ohio, he's healed up with Max Chrono lands as well, but it's a 3-man Dream Call with the stance as well. 3-4-3 turns back and stun up Febby, but Fnatic wants the Batrider now coming forward. The Firefly's still out with a Stone Gaze from the Medusa. DJ has dropped, but Forever. Does he have a Time Walk? He does in a second. They're just going to try and stop him and catch him out. He's dead! Doesn't get it off with QO still trying to fight through this and battle on. Mid one clears up too. And QO's left to his own devices. Picks up a Bracer as the Courier. No, not going to drop there. 3 for 2 with a number of track kills out. Fnatic still looking good.
And again, that's kind of what I was talking about. A lot of the things go well for MVP in that fight. They get a pretty good chrono, they get an alright Omni Slash, and Beastmaster gets his Raw off, gets his Necros off, but they're still there. The game is just escaping them so quickly. It's slipping away from them, and I don't know. I feel like we're already at the point where Fnatic keep themselves together, stay composed, and don't make mistakes like wandering off alone, getting picked off a lot. In really good shape here, like 90+% chance to win, I think, all in their court.
Oh. Net's Medusa, 0.3k net worth. Yasha does drop the boots of speed into phase or treads. Travel or something, because Hero has been hunted down. Lane. Heroes from Fnatic is ready to pounce, jump the swap range. He's ready to save his mate. Net is up on the front lines looking for this tier 1 damage, but Forever. Chronosphere's on cooldown, buddy. 35 seconds. You can't really jump in here and do too much. You've got Vlads and Lasso, but it's... Oh, this is going to be QO that dies instantly. Forever's chased out. The track is here as well. Stone Gaze tries to slow them down. It's a good swap with the static form. Trapped in 3 for 3 and Net. And Febby with a Firefly over the top of them, and Sticky Napalm charge is stacking up as well, and Enchantress, not long for this world, another Dream Call onto 2, the Silence catches them as well. Mid-1 doesn't finish the kills though, and the Glimpse back, trapped him, Phase Shift available, tries to bottle up through it. Mid-1 keeps himself alive, the Orb is available, no! He got Phase Shift?
I thought he could, but like to me.
Unless there was like time dilation that kept it on cooldown for a fraction of a second or something?
It looked available to me. Maybe just slightly missing out on that. At the same time, his team did kill the Beastmaster, that was a track kill, and I need to point out that when the 4-position Bounty Hunter is the 3rd richest person in the game, and richer than everyone on the enemy team, that's pretty worrying. Okay, Faceless Void overtakes him for a few seconds, but right behind there's also the Bat. So this is like, we're one fight away from there being 4 Fnatic heroes right at the top of the net worth.
Potentially even the Vengeful Spirit. Venge isn't far away from that pack. 3700 away, like, you know, not too far away even from the Beastmaster. Only 600 difference between your 5 roll and the 1 roll, potentially, here.
Yeah, I mean, this Bounty Hunter's only killed 20 creeps, 1 creep per minute, but he's got Guardian Greaves 15 minutes into the game. That's like, sometimes understated, I think, that item itself. That's like a huge impact item for this early on. I was talking about Beastmaster getting a Necro 3, I mean, he's still a Necro 1. Greaves is something like that. In these early fights, having those Greaves just makes it that much more difficult for MVP to achieve anything.
Killing people off and finishing them. Damage and Aurora and all that, you're right. Spot for them.
Extra bonuses from the Greaves when you go low. Just really, like in these fights, it's happening a lot where heroes go low and other heroes go low, and who can finish who, or suddenly you have a Greaves. In that situation, Pac is never going to die, for example.
They've drawn on the map saying they want to go smoke themselves aggressively into the jungle. There's tier 2 up top, but it's not the most valuable of towers. I'd be more interested to see it go and take the tier 1 bottom lane and maybe try to go around Roshan. They don't have the best Rosh taking lineup, but with the lead they have and with a wave of terror level 4, it's not going to be difficult for them to take. I don't think either team is on the Aegis. Don't need it. MVP probably feel too scared to go in there.
It's interesting, the dynamic of this series so far. It just feels like in every game, Fnatic's the team that has the early timings. They've got the potential for the early aggression, putting the pressure on MVP. For an international audience that had only seen MVP playing recently at the Shanghai Major or Dota Pit, I think they're the team that's always the aggressors. It's not, I mean, this is a point that I made was on the panel at the Shanghai Major, is that MVP historically have not always been that team. If they're playing inside the South Asia region, a lot of the SEA teams are actually more aggressive and earlier timing than they are, and they end up moving into the role of like, yes, we want to fight you and we're going to miraculously beat you in fights, but we're actually the sort of slower moving team a lot of the time in these games, and it's typified this series that Fnatic's just been too fast for them, and fast before it, when that pick off, they're going to chase after Febby and can't TP out.
Tragedy after tragedy here. MVP. It's another 2, and that's another 2 track kills, right? For money. On next is tier 1. He finally chunks down the bottom tier 1 though, gets himself enough money for his Necro 2s. Spirit 343's here to solo defend, glimpse back a little bit further, but intelligently TP to the tier 3 back behind so he doesn't get glimpsed into any dangerous situation.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Finally finished off the phase boots up top, but he's also got AJ as well as Ohio lurking around or crossing the trees.
Spoke about how the Bench even could catch up and has now overtaken the Enchantress, so one step closer to catching up to the pack. That Ether Lens on Vengeful Spirits, actually a really good item on the hero. We don't see it as often as we might, just because usually in like a 5 position don't get any items roll this hero. But it really makes a huge difference with that extra swap range. It's very dangerous for the enemy team. It can save people or you can just initiate out of nowhere. It's almost like the old level 3. The old level 3 swap range is... Actually it is, I think.
Having level 11 on your Venge at this point is insane as well. Because Beastmaster is level 10. A 1 roll position Beastmaster is level 10 while Vengeful Spirit is level 11. Absolutely insane gains here. Fnatic. 2 is finally done, and I wonder if they'll utilize this with the Roar as well. Try and sneak up and run up Fnatic, try and find anything you can. That's what you're going to do at this moment, is just go. Go somewhere, do something.
And this is the thing that actually for me typifies MVP. When you and I used to cast them maybe even a year ago, like it's not just about fighting, because actually all of Southeast Asia likes fighting. MVP is the team that no matter how far behind they are, they still try to get back into the game by going for a play, going for a fight, going for what looks like it's focused to rush in this case. Very like forward thinking team, and I like that about them. Like they don't sit and do and talk about the fact that they're behind. They look for a way to get back in.
Just might be that way for drawing the map. Fnatic know this is happening, but Roshan, he is already dead. This is still a fight, so Fnatic to take even against the Aegis, and Net will just walk in with a Stone Gaze. Gonna catch on to numerous heroes and Dreamcall onto Forever as well. He's looking for the Chrono, but he's gonna get lassoed up, and Ohio trapped in the Void. They're gonna take him out before he can get that Chrono out. Fnatic's normal now, trapped in 3-4-3, but it's only the Vengeful Spirit. The other side bounces back between them all. But mid one jumps forward aggressively to spin on the 3-4-3. The Vengeful Spirit keeps himself alive even through the QO damage. Loses the Aegis, but Febby drops as well. A buyback from the Void here. This might be the chance to get the jump in the Chrono, but it's only going to be able to save QO. They can't do any damage with it. They go back onto Net, but just look, chipping away, slowly but surely. 2 stick charges away and the 4 staff as well. Net keeps himself away from danger, and QO turn back around on, but Forev battering away. DJ, he's got another Shuriken in 5 seconds time. The time dilation though slows it down. Now he's got it available in mid one. He's still alive. Another silence and a no forward, and Forev's caught. The buyback might turn to dieback, but they want QO instead. The jump forward, the orb and the damage, it's all there. But Fnatic, they have done it. 5 heroes dead here in a moment as Forev, he can climb walk, mid one, he can jump. Ohio, and Net is closing the gap. The Net, he's trapping him in. Oh no, Forev can escape this one. He's keeping himself alive. And Fuel Scepter in 7. It looks like he's okay with another time dilation back. Still,
Nothing needs to go back.
4 heroes and 1 buyback. It was 5 heroes with 1 buyback from the face of Void. The swap 4-3. Glimpse back as well. Ohio, he just runs himself forward. Febby's taking a lot of damage. The Roar is over on the eastern side, but Febby's got no consolation from Forever. Slows things down a little bit, but he's still going to try and output damage. The Roar and the Necro 3s, they're already out, but the tracks keep flowing through, and Ohio slowed down to force himself back over the V-lines as well. MP stunned up at 3-4-3, just whacked into him. QO doesn't have it on his side. First win as well, but the Static Storm from Dubu tries to trap him in. It's just MVP scrambling, drastically trying to do anything they possibly can. Even DJ is not even dying. Nearly catches MP out, but finally the bloody bounty hunter will drop. And 3-4-3 in the field. MVP will get 3. Again, is it enough? They lost so much. Hit 4, Ohio. Omnis Slash is there.
Not enough, but it's extremely scrappy from Fnatic. That they chased the Void for so long that the next fight came up and they weren't really in a position to take the next fight. They had very low mana on all of their heroes. They weren't ready. But they had the Guardian Breeze coming up the second time. I think it's very much unnecessary for Fnatic to give away those kills. I think that they can go back after the initial fight. And the initial fight to me kind of proved that no matter what happens, the MVP can't win a fight. They get the rush, they get like the positioning to start the fight. The Chrono didn't come out immediately, but there was a lot committed on the Void anyway. I just think Fnatic are too strong when they've got everything ready, and MVP are not going to be able to win a fight. So for Fnatic to go into that position where they take a fight without everything ready, with low HP and low mana on heroes, it's a little bit sloppy, a little bit unnecessary, but in the bigger picture, they are monumentally, they are so far ahead, it shouldn't matter.
Walking about 5,000 gold away of MVP. Give them, there's no Dragon Lance on Febby. QO has a Yasha now. P got his Necro 3s right, and he's close to Blink Dagger, so that's something they can look forward to. While Dubu's trying to build into the Aghanim Scepter. So, Fnatic is the favourites in this one. Forev, get off the Blink. MVP are the ones playing aggressively again.
And Bounty Hunter both just bought Dagons, so good luck staying alive. Whoever they decide to burst down is going to explode.
Solves up, that's it. Oh, look, it doesn't look like they've got any. This Scardy completed, oh man. Yeah, it's going to be so tanky and difficult to handle. So just going to walk up to the front lines, Forev. Got Blink now, and he'll buy it straight up. Clowny fight though.
Fnatic just need to keep themselves composed. I mean, it's obviously you could see what they were thinking. They just demolished the enemy team, and it's only a Void alive. 4 heroes chasing after it, but that is just the nature of this hero. Like, if you don't have the full arsenal of like, there's certain ways that your competition can kill a Void, and there's certain ways they can't. And it doesn't matter how many heroes you have if you don't have the things, the tools that you need to kill the Void. It doesn't matter how far ahead you are in the game. You're just gonna.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Net has a DD rune though. Oh, tier 2. Lift up.
Radiant's
Bowling
structures
tactics
are
here as
fortified.
MVP wants to take tier 2 off a top lane, and Forever is farming mid with the help of a Satyr to put this one out as hard as they can. And Net wants to utilize this double damage for as long as he is able
Dire's
to.
top tower has
The rest of
fallen.
Fnatic have actually smoked up behind him with the Scotty
Radiant's
completed.
bottom
Net just
tower
walked
is
up
under
onto high
attack.
ground.
Dire's
MVP going to go for a
middle
trade here.
tower
Doesn't
is
look like
under
they want to
attack.
fight at all. They're going to go for the tier 3s. Be good for them because there's
Fnatic
no
are
way
going
they can
back.
switch back. And yeah, Fnatic, they TP back. Looking to try and catch up Forever. The last one forward, the mid one. There's a silence and Forever obliterated. Ceases to exist. The Snowstorm dropped on the bloody no one. It's just been keeping Medusa gets caught inside of it. On the side backwards, 3-4-3 catches that as well. QO, he spins to victory, but wants the victory. 3-4-3 pulls himself out and Femi's gone. QO will TP himself away for safety, but MP is trapped over on the side. He's going to buy himself a teleportation scroll, but I think you just walk into the fountain at this point. Buys a blink, sells a blink, buys a blink, sells a blink, tries to get the cooldown there. But it's not going to be available for him.
Hibernate.
Try the sneaky move of buying a blink and putting it in his inventory just after getting hit by someone to blink and TP. MVP, they look for the trade. They get it. Get the tier 3 for tier 3. They lose a 4-for-1 fight as well.
I mean, structurally, it seems like for the position they're in to get a tier 3 for tier 3 is insane. But exactly, if Fnatic recognize, like, we just don't let them pull out, obviously going to win the fight. Because Fnatic are always going to win the fight at this stage in the game, as long as they're ready and have all their spells ready, have all their HP and mana. There isn't really a chance of MVP winning a fight right now.
Behold!
Radiant's middle tower
Towers
is
remain.
under attack.
Oh, they've seen Bebby. This is very far forward. Back, not thrown by DJ. Jump forward, Time Walk and Blink onto Net. Chrono is here. The damage is good on Medusa, but she's tanking a great swap. 3-4-3 sends her back with Manta style out. The Vengeful Spirit will be going up to lose the life for now. The last one forward for him, down into Oblivion. He's not dying just yet though. He's actually being able to climb walk himself forward, and the only flash from Duo is up to Medusa on mid one. Influence back into death. This is MVP. This is their strength, battling and fighting through it all. Mid one is going to try and sort himself away from this one, but I don't think he's got the availability. The Medusa illusion's doing a lot. One finally put to the high ground. Away.
I don't know if MVP knew it, or if they just thought they had to take the risk, but Puck was far away, and that's difference maker in that situation. Puck was up at the top lane, had to run all the way down. There was no tier 1 mid to TP2, and too much damage had been done in the time that the Puck got there. So MVP managed to actually win a fight, and I still believe that straight up 5v5 front there, front got everything available, they shouldn't be winning.
Oh, hello, goodbye. Ohio's in the spot of all of those. Going to try and go and with the high ground. You'll suffer there as well, and a Blink Dagger in one, but Forever ready to damage him back into this. Mid one, chasing down Febby, the Firefly over the top of them. Shit as well, but it's a swap back. Duo not able to lash it up to DJ, and 3-4-3 is just manhandling this Juggernaut. Takes that healing ward. Mid one, Hot Pursuit needs to really catch up to this. Ohio has killed the Enchantress. In there over to the river, the disjoint of the stun, but the track is still here. Mid one. Yules and Dagon available, and this should be a dead QO regardless of scenario. Really don't think there's any way out. Seeing Tiga Dua turn into Anam Umpat, but I don't know if Fnatic are really going to throw this one anymore. Every time they give something away, they take back more than MVP really able to give.
Yeah, this is the thing about Fnatic's draft. It's none of their fighting potential is based on long cooldowns. So MVP finally find an opening, Puck's not there, they get a good trade, and they try and push it further. But Fnatic's heroes are mostly alive, ready to come, and they've got everything they need. Whereas MVP had used their Omni Slash, they'd used their Roar, they'd used their Chronosphere, they've got them now again, but it's not like MVP are dependent on hugely long cooldowns, but they're dependent on some cooldowns, and Fnatic just aren't. So with the lead they have, even if they get it turn around, just go straight back in.
Dupe is caught. Dupe dead. no. Yeah. There's nothing. Nothing you can do there. Double Dagon from mid one and DJ. Forev. Catch him there.
Radiant's
Those
middle
are-
tower has fallen.
Right,
Radiant's
those are
middle
the modes of
tower is
Disruptor,
under
that's what I
attack.
want to say. You're chasing them or you're feeding. Those are like...
Duo. Again, but 343 is going to give up his life for that aggressive move, and Fnatic might just back themselves away. VP QO. Back to the diffuser blade. Okay. Such a difficult game for this show.
Pack is Dagon 5, and Vantians is Dagon 4. It's like... burst damage is just insane, and also when you level up your Dagon, the cooldown decreases substantially. So, I mean, Pax is now at 15 seconds, Bounties is still at 20. And you better believe that Pack is going to be able to Dagon more than once in a fight. The high likelihood, unless you just burst it down, catch it in your chronosphere early on, probably going to have 15 seconds in the fight. Please sneak into the rush pit again. For them the first time. No work again. Last time they lost the big fight right after, and let's see if that happens again.
Setting up for this big fight as well. The haste rune on the deck, but Forev, he lands the chrono onto Net, and they've actually zoned this one out. We just one back though. Net is saved by 2-3, gives up his own life. Fnatic Storm and Kinfield hold him out, but then goes Ohio. Drags Bevy up into the high ground, and this is where Fnatic maybe run forward, rampant through the ranks. Ohio jumps forward, and the Firefly's doing so much damage, but it's still a roar from MP onto Net, and they're trying to burn through, but QO the zap, but they got the damage. QO's gone. The Aegis the model will be popped, but MP still dropped over the sidelines. Mid one comes back into battle, and they'll look for QO again. Spin in one, but he doesn't have a TP. He cannot retreat. He cannot escape. He cannot live.
Yeah. Funny, I was watching one chasing off the Faceless Void, and I was just thinking, that's one way you deal with the Faceless Void. You just have a Dagon 5, which deals 800 damage instantly. And Void's like, oh, I'm gonna just incrementally time walk little bits of damage. He got into like half HP and just Dagon him. He was dead.
Fly back from the Void and the Beastmaster.
Is under attack.
Where is Net? Where is the Medusa? No boot travel, and over in the side jungle, the tier 3 takedown by Puck and Batrider. Maria comes in, and okay. Dagon level 5 across 2 heroes now. And Bounty and the Puck. Double zap. Tier 3 will drop and likely retreat from Fnatic. No, they're going to go for a bit of chip damage onto melee. They think they can accomplish it. Medusa's joining the fight as well. Net's made the long walk down towards this mid lane from the jungle, and Forev. Time dilation to slow things a little bit, but got a zap. There goes mid one roared up and Stag Storm as well. 4 steps away, he's trying to save himself, but it's not available. Net is over on the side, trying to hold him back a little bit, but he's running out of his mana. He's actually dropping low on the mana pool and being burnt out, but the swap back from 3-4-3 allows him to retreat, and they have to bail. They really have to get away from this. Forev, no chrono, 3 seconds time walk not available either, and he's stunned up by 3-4-3 after the zap from DJ TPing out, but no, stopped in his tracks. Fnatic gave up more than really they should have.
It was a little bit impulsive of mid one to just forward and if you can quickly get a kill. And the Beastmaster and Disruptor both ready to roar him and silence him. It's meant to be much more difficult for them to kill the pack that way. And I think it's only on mid one himself that he puts himself in a position where they actually can land that easily. So a little bit unnecessary again from Fnatic. Second time in this game. They've overreached a little bit. But just like the first time, I think it's supposed to be not a big deal.
A lot of gold away, but they don't give any real momentum away. 5,000 net worth lead, you get chipped, down, touch. You're looking, the later this game goes, favor Fnatic, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Like both draft and playstyle.
Yeah, if the gold deficit changes at some point and MVP somehow have a 20,000 gold lead, then I think I might favor them in the late game. The Medusa can only do so much on its own, especially if you're capturing it out with the stuff like Chrono, Static Storm, with the Necros. The Beastmaster's done so well to just have those Necros up against the Medusa this game, and that's what I was saying earlier, that Necros are good in this matchup, just because honestly, what are you supposed to do against them as Fnatic? Like, who attacks them? Who kills them? Everyone's just scared of them. The Medusa herself basically has to just attack them down, and it's actually, I think she saves herself HP by deliberately killing the Necros.
Might even want to go BKB at some point for your Medusa. Going into the butterfly right now, I guess that's going to give you the evasion against these Necro units. The evasion is there, and yeah, with Quarterstaff coming out and Ghost Scepter for the puck. You've got an Ethereal Blade puck, you've got a Butterfly Medusa, all of these tools that Fnatic need, and you've even got to jump in from Ohio onto Forever, and here comes the damage output from mid one, and DJ zaps him into oblivion! 60 seconds on the sidelines, there's no chrono.
And that's the reason he doesn't have buyback is because he bought a hood. Avoid buying a hood and still getting just complete burst down by magic damage through it.
There go the racks. And B just give this one up. Defend. Zero blade for mid one. There's the orb, he's going to jump forward. I can feel it. He's going to blink himself. Nope, not going for it. Usually when you see that all backwards, it's indicative of them wanting to jump in and kill somebody off, but one being a little bit safe with his movements, doesn't want to die. Oh.
Yeah, he remembers last time getting roared in Static Storm.
Oh man. Okay. Okay. Blade is there from QO, but he's slowed down by Nets, and we've just seen the Beastmaster just cease to exist. And the gun back in the Static Storm, swap back, mid-one saved alive, but the Stone Gaze catches two of them. Bebby and Jubu being shredded here by the damage output of Net, while QO is trapped. Stone completely screwed with a chrono finally from Forev. Do they have any damage? Mid-one looks like he's going to drop, but he also have to save himself with a skill and like the first to get out of this situation. Are you really seriously going to survive? And GG is called. It's all over. This best of 5 will end 3-1 as Fnatic take the third grand final qualifier from MVP in a row.
And today I just feel like Fnatic with a better team. Very, very clearly. I think even the game MVP won, Fnatic had had their window where they ran away with it. They kind of failed in their window, and then they were against the Spectre and they did Spectre things, right? That's, you know, Fnatic were, for me, almost a tier above MVP today. Really looking sharp, and